Hello everybody and welcome to Canada in Montreal here for Tier 3's race here for the Canadian Grand Prix this week. Hive Eclipse already has set a lap. I'm sorry for starting the stream a bit late. Something got in my way, so we're up and running now. Mutsnuts and Connor have set their first laps as well, all on soft tyres, so nobody taken a moment to go for the medium tyres. Anyway, we are going to be following this session, and I'm not alone tonight. We've got a Tier 2 driver with us. It's Kiza Soze. Steve, how are you, mate?
I'm very well, thank you. Very well indeed. How's yourself, all right?
Yeah, I'm all right, thanks. I'm sorry I got you a bit panicking wondering what was going on. I was rushing and getting everything ready. I'm sorry.
That's okay.
But now
we're up and running.
Yeah. So Anton, who has set a lap, it's Mr. Grinner, so a new driver. We've got Winky as well, who's set his lap. It's a very slow one, so expect more from him. Avinash is in the middle sector. Actually, let's follow him because he's our current championship leader. He won last time around in Portugal in style, so he's going to be looking to keep this momentum going and get somewhere around in the top 4, top 5, stay in contention for the race win here. So, coming into the final sector, he's in the middle of the track, which is weird, and he's got plenty of battery left, so maybe this wasn't an actual push lap for him. But he's going to the line right now, and it's looking good. It's a 10.9, just below the 11 second mark, so a very, very decent time. He's got about 0.3 of a second over Hive Eclipse, who is no slouch either. So, some good times being put in. We've got Anne Stoke as well. What did you see?
So I think Mr. Ginner just had a bit of a moment coming out of the hairpin because he was on board with somebody going past. Looks okay though. I think he might be on. Get the deltas up. Might be on his outlap, possibly.
And Winky set a proper time as well. It was 1 minute 26 last time round. He's set a 1:12.7. That's a proper time. So he's up into P7, 7 and 8 for the moment for the Alpine boys. We're currently on Mika, who's not the quickest. He won't hide away from that. He's learning the game, and a bit of a moment there on the exit of the hairpin. Coming into the final sector with the DRS. I think he'd be happy with the 1:14, so expect something around the 1 minute 15 mark for him for this lap in particular.
Seems to be getting through that final chicane okay.
Yeah, he's going to be building the confidence. He told me the other day when he was practicing, he did the one. Whoa! There's a lot to learn from him. He said he did a 1:13.5, I think. So it's definitely not near what Tier 3 can achieve. Well, I mean, Avinash is already in the minute 10s, so don't expect him at the front. Who have we got on a lap? We've got Antone looking to improve, but he has invalidated. And Hive Eclipse, don't know. Yeah, he's retired. He's in the World Champions, I think. So, Ant Stoke, I didn't realise he was on a lap, but he's only just beaten Avinash's time by less than a tenth of a second. Yeah, so some proper lap times are being put in.
They're essentially banker laps at the moment, so there's some pretty decent times in there for a banker.
Exactly, banker lap, and the track is still at a low grip status, I'd say. It can still probably improve by about 2 or 0.3 of a second till the end of the session. Scottish Ninja's been disqualified for blocking the pit lane.
He was probably trying to let somebody go. Connor's just starting the lap now.
Okay, Connor.
2. Looks fairly clean. Got traction okay.
But he's not actually on a lap because he's got... he's not going and he's invalidated. So I'll be following... It was Dan who's on a lap. And Wookie has started his lap as well. One of our quicker drivers as well, Wookie, especially in qualifying. He's found a bit of a bit of consistency in races recently as well. So one of our championship contenders, what has he done in the second sector? He's coming up to 42.1, okay. What can Dan do going through the final chicane here? Whoa, can take much more curb than that. Chris will know. 12.7, okay, so into the top 10. What about Wookie? Coming up to the Wall of Champions. Oh, he doesn't want to go into the Wall of Champions, but whoa, he does clip it very lightly. Doesn't damage the car, I think. He runs to the line. It's very close. We've got a Williams 1-2 at the moment. With the Wookiees, yep. The top three all within a tenth of a second of each other. So good running from those three at the moment. Has Connor restarted his lap? He has, but he's in none again. So he's invalidated again. It must have been that first corner.
Maybe trying to be a bit greedy with the curbs.
Yeah. And we'll be talking about that later on, but it's so easy to exactly as you said, get greedy with the corners because a lot of them can be cut, and you end up cutting them and getting a few penalties. Dan then in the final sector, he invalidated the past time he had. So how can he set himself up for this final corner? You want to extend the track limits as much as you can here. He slows down quite a bit, so it's an off lap for him. Actually, I should have noticed. Whoa, Sabi. Okay.
So I just jumped on board with him for the last chicane there, and he came around that last chicane with definite purpose.
Wow. I wasn't expecting that from him. I mean, I was looking up for
top four though. I mean, that's ridiculous. 3,000 between first and second at the moment.
Yeah, this is it's a short track, but it doesn't mean that it should be within 3/1000ths. Sorry, of a second. So great competitiveness between the top four here at the moment. Can anybody break into that region? We've got Connor 2/10 down, but he's been his laps have been his tyres have been running for several laps now, so they probably don't have the grip that they necessarily need. As he goes wide and clips the wall and gets his front wing damage, so he's going to be going back to the pits. There's still about 10 minutes left in this session, I'd say. No, less than 7 minutes left.
7 minutes.
Yep.
I've got Avinash just gone on to second flying lap of the session.
Okay.
Obviously, he's one of the ones already in the.
And he's looking good. He goes up to P8.
007.
Okay, 007 for him in the first sector. Let's go on board with him and check what he can do in this pretty short middle sector, to be honest. It's the first sector where a lot of time can be gained. So he's got a lot of work to do here in these final two sectors to find time. It's very easy to lose the rear here. Sorry?
He's definitely found... Oh, there we go. Well, he found 2 temps before the hairpin, unfortunately.
Well, we've also got Quimo now joining the party here. He's set a 1 minute 11.0, so just outside the 10th of a second from Sabi, but you've basically got 5 drivers within a 10th of a second. Then you've got Antone, who's set a really good time as well, an 11.1, so top 6 within 2/10 of a second. It's not as tight at the back. Who else do we have on the time here? We've got Avinash who started the lap, so we'll probably be following him.
Sorry, I'm on board with Quimo, and it definitely looked like a suspicious cut. I was waiting for the track to go red, but he got away with it. That must have been fine.
Okay.
Fine margin. Like you were saying, we can talk about it later, but the curbs, they can be very good to you, but they can also take it away in a split second.
They most definitely can. So he's coming up to the second sector check mark, and he's nearly 2/10 up, so this is looking like creating a bit of a gap between him and the other competitors in the top 5. There aren't many drivers out on track. They're all waiting to for the session end to come up, as Avinash took a lot out of the curves. That was a good line there from him. And it's a 10.7, so he's created a 2/10 cushion between him and Sadie and everybody else. Looking good for him at the moment. He's still got time to go back to the pits and get a new set of soft tyres, take a bit of fuel out, and be as light as possible, have the right tyre temperature. 4 minutes is a nice time to go back to the pits at the moment. Who else do we have on track? Wookie is down on his time, but he's not actually setting a time, so that's fine. Quimo, you were talking about Quimo, and I'll be...
I don't know if he's going to go for another lap or not.
It looks like he's going to the pits. Oh no, he isn't. Okay. Oh no, he's starting his lap. Fair enough.
Yeah, I think he had a few... I think he put a bit of extra fuel in to do 2 runs, I think. See a few little flashes of the yellow flags now, so I think people are starting to give it that one last push for their final.
Yeah, they are.
Check-in.
Oh, it's very slippery here for Quimo in that first sector. He got a bit twitchy on the exit of the first proper chicane, and it is a track where it sees again out of the penultimate chicane on this track. It's a track where it's really easy to lose the re on pretty much every corner here as well, both on entry and on exit. So he keeps it tight. He had a bit of a wheel spin on the exit. He keeps it pointing in the right direction. That's crucial. Using up plenty of energy to gain as much time as possible on this straight.
Left himself a lot for post-chicane.
That was a great entry to the final chicane. What can he do? It looks like it's improving. He's just 2/10 off. So it doesn't improve, and I don't think he'll have enough time to go back to the pits and get back out. So that's session over for him. What can Wookie do? He's nearly 3/10 up, so this is looking like a pole position time for him. As he goes as close to the line as possible, he's a 10th up on Avinash. It's a 10.6.
Exactly.
So you'll be happy with that, especially since if he doesn't have enough fuel to go around twice again. So that's the session over for Wookie. Sabi will be starting his lap. Invalidation for Ant Stoke. Antone has come out of the pits. Connor has invalidated. Smith has invalidated. Winky's up on his own time, so he can definitely gain probably 4 positions out of this time, out of this lap. Let's have a look. Yeah, goes up to P10 with a 12.1. Good improvement.
I think I'm just going to check. Yeah, Connor's been really unfortunate. Came out of the last turn in. Invalidated, which has then ruined obviously the next lap, so he's got to have a blinding lap now to be able to get one more in. Whether or not he's got enough fuel on board.
I'm wondering if he doesn't, because he's still in the hot lap. He's not saving fuel up, and he's got a damaged front wing actually. So
he's just bounced.
Yeah, I think that's session over for him. Smith has invalidated already for this lap, so he won't be finding another time. Mika has invalidated, but he's got 50 seconds left to start a lap, so he's fine. What can Sabi do? I've missed most of Sabi's time. I don't know if he's up on his own time. He's got plenty of ERS left, so I don't know if he's planning on... He's going back to the pits. So
it was showing, just as I flicked it over there, it was showing about 10 seconds down on his delta, so I don't know if he's had maybe a lap, an out lap.
I think he had front wing damage.
Blew it.
Dan is 2/10 up in the first sector. Let's go with Dan, because I think he's the only one who can actually improve. We've got Mutsnuts as well.
Yeah, I'm just on board with him now. Let's see what his second sector is.
It's a slight improvement for Dan. What can Mutsnuts do? He's improving even more. So
he's half a tenth. No.
Yeah, but Dan isn't improving enough to improve his own position as it stands. So What can he do in this final corner? Whoa, whoa! I thought that was a corner cut there, but okay, yeah, he knows he can't improve. But what can Nuts do?
Good commitment through the last chicane there. That was pretty good.
Nice. It's a P3.
Oh, see, there you go. He's made up all that time in sector 3. That's
right,
got to be a fairly good downforce.
It could be, yeah. We didn't get the excitement from the established top 4, top 5, even top 6, I'd say. But at the very end of the session, Nuts came from P8, was it? Up to P3, so good improvement from him.
Great.
Showing what a late lap can do for your session. It can really make it. And yeah, whether it's through confidence or high downforce or the track speeding up a bit, he's made it all work for himself. So P3 for him, he'll be happy with that. So we'll start going through the grid right now. We've got Wookie on pole with Avinash and Nuts completing the top 3. Then it's Sabi with a surprising result as well in P4. Really good result for him since he's joined the league. We've got Ant Stoke in P5, Quimo, Antoine, Hive Eclipse, Dan, Winky, Connor. Very disappointing session for him. Got damaged several times, so he'll be looking to improve in the race. Smith, Mika, Airways, Armat, Laupi, Saviour, Bobo, Mr. Ginner, and Scottish Ninja, who both got disqualified through blocking in the pits. So, as you said, he was probably letting somebody go through, and Mr. Ginner was facing the wrong way, so probably got a spin or something. Okay, what's your I'm sorry, I've got a French sentence in my mind and I can't translate it. What do you take away from this qualifying session?
Well, I think it's going to be sort of the way Tier 3 goes this season. Obviously, the top 5 or 6 there are pretty close, but I've got to put my money on Wookie. It's to me, I think he's probably going to run away with it if we have a nice clean race.
I think exactly what you said. But the important thing is what you mentioned at the very end. It's a clean race.
Yeah.
And as you were saying earlier on, this track is a killer with track limits, as Connor found out quite a few times. Cutting the first corner, we suspect. You can cut the first corner. You can cut the third and fourth corners. You can cut the fifth corner. Probably the 7th and 8th. You can hit the wall on most of them. You can cut the final chicane. So many things can go wrong on this track. And even if you don't cut the final chicane, you can hit the wall on the final chicane. So this track seems simple. Few corners, short corners, high-speed corners. But it's all really technical. If you take a curb, even if you don't cut the curb, if you don't take it the right way, it can send you out in a spin, which I found out in Tier 1 on Monday.
Funnily enough, I found that in Tier 2 as well.
Oh, weird.
So we had rain, and it was. But I was on a set of hards, but the DRS was still on, and it felt okay. So I kept just pushing another lap, and then I got to lap 20, I think, and I was going to pit, and then at the last minute I thought, no, I'll stay out one more, and I clipped the curb on that last chicane, and unfortunately introduced the front wing and wheel to the Wall of Champions.
Well, you're eligible. Eligible, is that a word? Yeah, eligible, I think. You're eligible to it. The Wall of Champions.
It's one of those things, isn't it? You've got to meet it at some point.
Yeah. I just remember some people earlier on undermining your champion status. Shame to them.
Rude. Very rude. We'll be discussing that later.
So, yeah, coming back to what we were talking about with Wookie, as you said, important to have a clean race on this track, with so many things going wrong. I'd say Wookie has got Avinash's pace. I'd say he's quicker, but he does have more mistakes in him than Avinash does. So,
yeah, I tend to agree
whether
with
it's
that
the
as
wall or the penalties, he can quite often get penalties. So he's going to have to be on his A game today and keep it clean. Avinash will be following him and will be ready to pounce at any opportunity. He did exactly that last week in Portugal. He didn't even push at the start. He was just following around. And everybody got penalties, so he didn't have any more pressure. And he could just make the overtake on the final lap with a really good overtake on turn 8 in Portugal, that uphill one. Honestly, that was great. So Avinash has got it with him. He knows when to push, when to sit back and wait. So it's going to be a very, very interesting battle between these two on this track. But yeah, Matsnuts and Sabi in P3 and P4, that's... You don't expect those guys here.
Yeah, Sabi is that another relatively newish driver to MRC?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's not a familiar name, sorry, but yeah, decent pace tonight. So you got to wonder what the racecraft is like again. How consistent of a driver, whether or not can put themselves in contention in the last section of the race.
Yep, and interestingly enough, he's also South African, so. We've got a bit of a fight between Englishmen and South Africans going on at the moment in Tier 3, and maybe a Frenchman could make his way into that fight as well in Antoine, one of our new crossplay players. The league's been opened up to PC and Xbox, with Dan being an Xbox player. I'm expecting more from Connor. I don't know about you, but he had a very disappointing session. I think there was a lot of raging going on in whatever party he's in tonight.
I think I've seen some comments as well.
Oh, right.
His dissatisfaction for the particular track.
I don't know if there's any something included in McLaren contracts about how many front wings you're allowed to have until you start paying for them. And Connor must be worrying about that right now because of the front wings he's been having to pay back tonight. Just for a moment, everybody, I'm going to start the stream. Oh, okay, yeah, the race is about to start. We'll have a look at the tyre strategy. I'm just opening the stream on my computer so I can see your comments. I'm sorry, everybody, I've not been answering to any of your hypothetical messages.
All of us this evening cheering on Smith. I think an ex teammate or
probably, yeah,
person who was battling in the championship.
Or maybe he's just a Red Bull fan, you know.
Yeah, it could be that.
Yeah, it could be.
Someone's got to be, haven't they?
What's your take on Red Bull?
We're on a live stream. I can't possibly say.
Okay, so let's have a look at tyres as I promised. Wookie and Avinash choosing to be a bit risky at the start, not protecting themselves from an early safety car, going for the hard tyres. I don't mind that strategy. The hard tyres are a really nice set of tyres on this track. They don't die very quickly, and they're not that slow either, apart from if you're in the rain, which you already know about. So yeah, most of them on mediums or hards, and yeah, it's only reserve drivers who are on soft tyres. Yeah, only reserves. Mr. Gunnar and Scotch Ninja also starting on the hard tyres, and it's a very short lap, so we've already got our formation lap over, everybody. So we'll be going on board probably with Sabi, I'd say. Let's go on board with Sabi at the start, and we'll have a better view of what's happening in the first corner, because I suspect that the camera angle won't be optimal for a race start. It usually isn't, so Snick will be the next one to go into his grid spot. Who else do we have behind? Nalpi's in, Saviour's in, Bobo, and Scottish Ninja is the last one to go into his grid spot. So now we go on board with Sabi. Good luck, everybody, keep it clean. And let's go racing here in Tier 3 in Canada. Oh, a bit of wheel spin. Oh, a bit glitchy as well. Let's go forward. And whoa, there's a bit of a sandwich there. As people are ghosting.
Getting it done, though.
Wookie and Avinash going side by side. Avinash choosing to let Wookie by. He knows that the race isn't going to be decided now. He's got 35 laps to make it up. So, pretty wisely, he chooses to go to P2. And yeah, Sabi's dropped down to P8 with his wheel spin at the start. And a bit of glitching as well. So, Hopefully the session is fine. I can't remember if anybody joined the session late, because we've got a spin in the first sector for Mika. Actually, in the second sector. Otherwise... Sorry,
yeah. I was just saying, Hive and Quimo done alright out of that, really. Out of a few moves at the start, made up a couple of positions each.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Killed it off the start so far.
Yeah, and Omar is one of those drivers who recently have been getting stronger and stronger. I'd be surprised if he's not in contention for a title this season, definitely in Tier 2. So, obviously, fastest lap here for Wookie, being the first one to set a lap around this track. And Avinash is really sticking with him. He's got nearly a second gap on Mutsnut, so he's already closed this race win discussion between him and Wookie, and everybody else has been left out of it. As Wookie's already hit the wall there, he's got front wing damage. So Avinash has got a massive smile in his in his cockpit.
Virtual safety car. What's happening?
Virtual, okay. I didn't notice anybody else dropping.
Carnage at the back.
Oh.
Damage, debris on the track. Airways, it's saying on the screen. What's Airways got penalty for?
We've got Mika with damage, so that might be part of it. We've got Scotch Ninja with an end plate missing. We've got Airways with an end plate missing. We've got Dan with an end plate missing. A lot of end plates missing today. Connor's already got an end plate missing as well, so he's going to the pits right now, slowing down. It's an easy one to speed into. So race control has restarted the race. Wookie's decided to stay out, and he's still trying to go for a move on Avinash, so I don't know what he's thinking of right now. And Connor's retired from the race. I'm sure that's a warning here for Wookie going through turn 4, I believe. He's doing well to stick with Avinash. Avinash running a little bit wide out of turn 6, I think. So DRS will be helping Wookie for these final 2 sectors. He's running really close to Avinash, so I don't know if Avinash is just cruising around or if Wookie's just on it tonight.
Just had Airways in the pit. He's had a bit of an unfortunate one, wing change, and served a 10-second penalty before said wing change, so he's just lost himself a shed load of time there at the back, unfortunately.
We've got it's Connor's Karen. So Wookie still deciding to stick with Avinash, not going for a move. I suspect he won't be going for a move here. He's half a second away, so it would be very optimistic from him. But Quimo is catching up to this top 2 by setting a fastest lap. 13.1 is a really good fastest lap in this tier, so good job by him. And yeah, he's less than a second behind. He can definitely get the DRS and put himself back into contention, as he has a bit of a moment on the exit of turn 4. Anton with a 3-second penalty. We're on lap 4 and already 2 people have got penalties. Bobo, fastest lap. Just very quickly, if any higher tier drivers are listening, just try not to get the fastest lap. try and let the tier drivers have the fastest lap. We know that the higher tier drivers have to pit 3 times in the race outside of safety car conditions. So that means that they can set fastest laps even more easily than it already is for them. So no disrespect to tier 3, but higher tiers are by definition quicker. So yeah, just try not to take points away from the lower tier drivers. We've got a bit of a fight going on here between Laupi, Mr. Ginner, Bobo. So
I was going to say I'm on board with Laupi at the moment, and 3 of them are just a nice little, very, very close wheel-to-wheel going on.
So Mr. Ginner, well, I guess it's his first race because I can't remember putting his name in results. No. Being very nicely introduced to this division, and no, what?
Commentators curse.
Oh my goodness, this is one of
come on.
I'm sorry.
Oh dear.
I'm not laughing at Mr. Ginner. I'm just.
Apologies. Wow.
Oh my god.
Right.
I think I'm going to be receiving a text from Connor, and he's going to be saying, "Okay, yeah, I abdicate. You are the new cursor of this league." And oh my goodness, that was incredible. Yeah, great introduction to the league. Boom.
Yeah, well done.
Oh,
what a shame. What an absolute shame.
Yeah, shame because it was looking like he was doing okay. He started at the back because of the game basically, and was fighting with some higher drivers. But yeah, unluckily hit the wall on lap 5. Was it? Yeah, lap 5. Coming up to lap 5 anyway. We've got Wookie in the pits, so pretty wise decision from him. Going for soft tyres, why not? Why not? I don't mind that, honestly, because his hard tyres are still pretty fresh. They've done 4 laps. So, have they done? No, they've done 5 laps, sorry. We're on lap 6. So, they've done 5 laps. They're still kind of fresh. Going for soft tyres means that if there's a safety car in, say, 4 laps' time, he can go back to those hard tyres and go to the end, I think. So... And he's still got 2 fresh sets of mediums as well. So strategically speaking, he's in P9, no penalties. He's got fresh tyres to go, not to the end, but he can do a 2-stop from here. A 1-stop from here, sorry. And yeah, I don't mind it. What do you think?
Well, coming into this season, the first 2 tracks were not favourites of mine, but I've done this track quite a fair amount now over the last week or so.
Yeah.
And I'm quite enjoying it now, to be honest.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, not too bad. I'm still not a fan of some of the traction areas, like the hairpin. Particularly, I don't think I'll get on with that too well. But the sector 1, definitely, I think I've got that down. I feel now. So that's just a nice little section when you get it right.
And there's a trap that people can fall into pretty easily about this track is setting your downforce pretty low. There's a massive straight. There are quite a few DRS zones, so it's a quick track in many regards, but you do need that downforce. I mean, look at these 2 corners. Just the first 2 corners, you need plenty of downforce. You need downforce in turn 3 and 4 to keep it nice and stable, and also to help your car with tyre life as well. So I'm hoping that most of them haven't gone for low downforce tonight. You do need like 35 at least or 40 level wings on this track to get the most out of your car for as long as possible. We've got 1 Mercedes at the back. He should be catching up before the end of this lap. The safety car's done about half of the lap. Mika's got 2 corners to go to catch them up. So we should be getting the safety car back in this lap. Bernd Maylander saying hi for 2 laps. And we'll be saying, hopefully, see you in Brazil.
Yeah, looking forward to that one. That's one of my favourite tracks, or one of my top 5, I think.
Well, it's one of my favourite races to watch, but I don't really enjoy it on this game. I think it's it's a weird one, Brazil. It's a weird one, but I don't enjoy most tracks on this game anyway. I don't enjoy the game.
This game has been a bit of a random one in comparison to the last few years. But we've probably spoken about it on stream in the past in this,
so many times.
In this league. But hopefully this year is a better version.
So Avinash went for a good restart, but Nuts has been struggling. Let's go on board with Quimo trying to follow Avinash, but Avinash is too far away. Yeah, very good restart from him. And Nuts having a moment on the exit of the final corner has given Quimo and Avinash a bit of a cushion to Hyverclips, but remember Hyverclips, he's pretty quick. Nuts has just got a 3-second penalty as we went on board with him going through turn 3. So he'll be kind of relaxed now because he knows that he's got another 3 warnings to go before penalty. But yeah, now he's got that time penalty. So every cloud has its silver lining. All right.
Do you find when you're driving that you do then have that little extra push once you've picked up that 3 second pin?
Yeah. Honestly, I do. I don't know about you, but I do.
No, indeed. I was just making sure I wasn't the only one.
So yeah.
When you get 2 right at the start of the race or something, and then you're on your back foot for ages, it's horrible.
That's exactly what I got on Monday. I got 2 in the first 2 laps, I think, or 3, I can't remember. And the whole race, I was like really braking for like the final corner. And especially the smoke is pretty bad on this track. I don't know if you...
I've noticed that.
T3 shouldn't be too affected by it because most of them run ABS. But Tiers 1 and 2, a lot of drivers don't use ABS, so you get plenty of smoke and it sticks on this track. So other than that, Quimo is still in the lead. Avinash is all over him though. And Avinash is driving without pressure. He doesn't have a penalty, unlike Quimo. Hive Eclipse has caught up as well behind, so it's still kind of good for Hive Eclipse. He can just stick with them, stick with Avinash, make sure he doesn't go too far away. Mika with another 3 seconds. Who else do we have in a fight? We've got Wookie past and Stoke. I don't even know how to pronounce his name. I don't know if it's Stoke or Stocko. I mean, it should be read Stocko, but I don't know if he misspelled it. Choosing his PSN, but anyway, it doesn't really matter. It's Ant. So Wookie making the most out of these fresh soft tyres, but they won't last very long. For his strategy to work, he will need another safety car. He gets his 3 second time penalty.
Just jumped on board. That was a bit of a cut.
I've got an idea, Steve. Okay, hear me out. I'm going to stop the stream. I'm going to restart it. No, you're going to restart it. You're going to be leading comms, and I'm going to stop talking about people because I'm cursing everybody right now. I'm saying, oh, he's doing well, blah, 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 3 second penalty. He's doing well, hits the wall. I'm sick of that. So yeah, 2 guys in front have recreated that second gap to Hive Eclipse. So I don't know if he made a mistake somewhere. Sabi with a 3 second penalty. I think even though we're on lap 10, would be nice to have a quick look at penalties. So in our top 6 we've got 4 drivers. Sorry?
Sorry, I was just going to say a couple of them have crept up a few on the penalties, unfortunately.
Yeah. Sabi is the one with most penalties at the moment, and Smith has joined him with the multiple penalty club. So we've got 2 drivers on 6 seconds. Smith at the back behind Mika. And Sabi in the middle of the grid at the moment in P12. Antoine with another 3 seconds.
Armar and Lorpe just came out of the last turn 13 and 14 side by side. Armar's got the run. Went side by side coming down the back straight.
Yeah.
And looked all clean through the last 2 turnings there. But yeah.
Mutz!
Way to go.
I've not really cursed him because I didn't say anything about Mutz, but I was on his camera and he spun around. So we've got our second safety car of the day. 2 of our allocated 5, I'd say. Some people say 4. I think it's 5. We've got a Haas being ghosted. Not too sure why. Is he AI? Maybe he's AI. Yeah, they're sorting it out.
Now. This is always a risky move, isn't it? If he overtakes somebody under the safety car,
yeah,
and then give the position back, sometimes you get penalty for it. It looks okay at the moment. It looked like Avinash and Quimo did a bit of chopping and changing. Like one of them went deep into the hairpin or something. I'm not sure. Oh, what's going on?
I'm wondering who would be pitting. Well, exactly, Wookie. That's exactly what we were talking about earlier on. He wanted a safety car in another few laps, so either he goes for a set of mediums, or he goes for hards. I'd suggest he goes for hards from here.
Yeah, I think so.
He's going for medium tyres, so he's going to try and do 24 laps on mediums. Mika gets a drive-through penalty. which he will have to serve on the race restart. Did he change his front wing? It looks like he... Well, I can't remember if he changed it, but it's clean anyway. So this time around, Wookie down in P13. But crucially, he doesn't really have to pit till the end of the race. So his mediums will be kind of slow towards the end because... I don't know what you think, but I think 15 laps on mediums and 20 laps on the hards is the optimal strategy around this track. So
yeah,
having to complete 24 laps, okay, maybe 1 or 2 will be under safety car conditions. So let's say 22 laps. It's still 7 extra laps over what you would usually do.
Yeah, even getting towards the end where you're not worrying too much about the weight of the car and whatever. That's still that's a long slog.
Yeah,
definitely.
So he will go to the end if the race conditions are in favour of it. But yeah, he will feel it towards the end. In the opening, maybe opening 6 laps, he'll be putting away, well, not putting away, but catching up to the guys in front. It's not that expensive a pit stop around here. I'd say it's about 21 seconds maybe. It's a short pit straight. And you cut the corner as well, so that helps limit the damage. So he might have a 15-second gap when Avinash, Quimo, Hyde have to pit. Can they catch 15 seconds with a 7-lap delta? Maybe they can. He's still looking like in a good position here, but crucially, he mustn't get any more penalties.
Either way, he's going to have a go anyway. Then.
Oh yeah, it's more than worth it.
Yeah, too right.
So let's have a look. We had a look at penalties. Let's have a look at the tyre strategies. So most of the people staying out here, Armand, Laupi, Saviour are all higher tier reserves. Scottish Ninja, he must have pit during the first safety car, went to medium tyres. So he's definitely going to have to pit again. He's not doing 32 laps on a set of mediums. No way. He'll be pitting later on. We've got Airways, Bobo, and then finally a tier driver. We've got Sabi in P11. Safety car is coming in this lap, and then Dan on fresher hard tyres, which I believe can go to the end. They'll be a bit iffy towards the end, but should be okay. So we will be going on board with Hive Eclipse. That way we can see both Avinash and Quimo ahead. So Hive, be careful because I'm watching you right now. So with the way things are going tonight, it's not looking good for you. Just be careful.
Right, I'm going radio silent for about a minute or two, so please bear with.
So, whoa, he did have a bit of a twitch on the exit of the final corner, but he stayed in contact with Quimo and Avinash, so good restart from Avinash, who had still a 5/10 advantage going into the first corner, pulling away a little bit on the exit of the second corner, which is a pretty tough traction zone. So building a 7/10 gap at the front, nice and healthy, Laupi with a 3-second penalty. We're going to have maybe a penalty update every 5 laps or something, just to know what's happening, because they're coming in thick and fast tonight. What's happening at the back? We've got Wookie making a few positions up, who's just made an overtake on Dan, but they're very close to each other. Dan going to the inside, selling the dummy. It wasn't bought, so Wookie putting away now in this middle sector from Dan. Looking good for Wookie. He was in P13 at the restart, so up into P11, catching up to the guys in front. Let's have a quick look at the gap to the leader. Yeah, so he's 7 seconds away from Avinash as it stands. And we'll be cutting back to Quimo because he's in danger of losing the DRS from Avinash. He's 8/10 away. And Avinash was really quick around this short section last lap round. He's extended the gap by about 2/10 again. So if he can find another 10, he'd be putting away from the 1-second window. But no, Quimo has stayed in it. So he can pull away a little bit more from Hive and catch up a little bit to Avinash. But he has a bit of a moment, 2 moments here on the exit of turn 6, I think. We've got yellow at the back of the grid. And we've got third safety car of the day. So I think... Whoa! Yeah, okay. That was Airways. What would you do if you were Avinash, mate?
14 laps, 15. That is a tricky one, isn't it? Doesn't look like the weather's going to change anytime soon either, does it really, from what we've had the other races this week? So
that's a good point.
Yeah, sorry, I think he's probably going to have to, if he goes in, he's going to have to go in for mediums and then take the risk. Looks like, oh no, what's Quimo doing?
Quimo is in, so he's taken the... Yeah. Well, it really is a game of chance right now. Will the safety car come out? Will it not? Clearly, if it doesn't, Quimo's laughing right now because he's got a free pit stop. Okay, he's going to be at the back, P11 right now. Nobody else. Sorry, Smith does go through, so he's P12, but he doesn't have to pit. And we were talking about maybe a 20-second pit stop earlier on. So he'll be catching up during the first few laps, but Avinash is going to have to pit, and that's going to be a full pit stop. So yeah, either there's another penalty, safety car, and Avinash will have a free pit stop. Either there isn't, and Quimo's looking good, but Wookie's doing well as well. He will have 4 extra laps of wear compared to Quimo, so that maybe equates to, would you say, half a second, 4 laps?
Probably, yeah, there and thereabouts. Maybe a little bit less, because I think obviously a lap or 2 of that he's been under safety car anyway.
Yeah, true. So yeah, maybe call it 3/10 then. It would be a 3/10 advantage he'd have for about 10 laps, and maybe only a 1/10 gap in the last part of the race. Yeah, it's a bit hard to read at the moment because we've got several higher tier drivers. We've got Armagh, Lauti, Saviour, Bobo, all reserving. So we've got Scottish Ninja going really long on this set of mediums. All right, there's been a lot of safety cars, so there's not much wear going through. But at every single safety car, people are pitting, and he's making his way up through the grid. And Stoke 10 seconds with. Ooh, okay. Did you see what happened there?
No, I was flicking through because I noticed that I think Ricky's just back in the pit. But and then I saw the penalty come up, and I'm assuming that was maybe into turn 1 or 2.
I'm surprised Wookie's going to the pits right now, because that means I was talking about him pitting for softs earlier on, meaning that he's opening his strategy up. He can go for hards or mediums, and he's got 2 sets of mediums. Right now, it's his last set of fresh mediums. So imagine there's a safety car lap 25. Well, he'll have worn tyres. He won't be able to pit for fresh mediums, or he goes for fresh softs, but they'll be dropping off pretty quickly on this track. So he's, by extension, committing to this no safety car strategy, which will work out if there's no safety car, but that's a big if.
I'm on board with Anton.
Yeah.
It looks like Sabby in front is ghosted. Been for quite some time.
Yeah, he has. Being ghosted might be being an AI, and just so everybody knows, we're not allowed to be an AI during safety car and formation laps. It's kind of cheating, even if you don't know about it. You may be penalised, as I think Armagh is going to the pits to release the tier drivers, and Avinash has got a good restart again. A Scottish Ninja is up to P3, so yeah, quite a few higher tier drivers are pitting right now. Scottish Ninja putting himself back into contention for big points tonight. He will have to pit again, but...
Oh, who's that? Right, Sabby is just ghosted, so I think there may be a disconnect issue there.
Could be.
But there's been... we just lost, I think, one straight.
Quimmer's got another penalty, so it's not looking good for him tonight. He was still in the fight for the win with a strategy, but Wookie's got fewer penalties than him, so Wookie still looking good. P11, same as he was earlier on, so just with fresher tyres now. Scottish Ninja's got a 3-second time penalty. I don't know if that's his second one. Hive Eclipse was about a second away. He had a good braking zone there. He caught up by about 0.2 of a second to Avinash, so maybe Avinash went in too deep. Yeah, he's in his slipstream right now, and as we were talking about earlier on, you need high downforce on this track. So slipstream is going to be very powerful on this track. Hive Eclipse still sticking with Avinash after the first lap, after the restart. Scottish Ninja not losing too much time to those guys ahead.
Bobo's in the pit.
Yeah, Bobo, a former Tier 3 driver, believe it or not. Believe it or not. The man was so quick he was promoted straight to F1, to Tier 1. He Verstappened his way through.
Yeah, well, he's, like I say, crazy fast.
It's so hard to read the race at the moment with the different strategies.
Yeah, sit on board with Nuts. Looks like he's winking his sights at the moment. Tyre advantage for sure.
Yep, and with DRS being activated, well, actually no, Winky's going to get DRS as well, so he might not be able to make a move on him, but he will have to make a move on Smith very quickly. Smith will not be having DRS, as we've got a change of position between Quimo and Dan. So Quimo trying to use everything he has in these tyres to close the gap to the guys in front and hopefully create the gap for the final stint of this race for Avinash and Hive Eclipse. Avinash has pulled away.
Smith's just lost out a bit there in the last two turns onto the start-finish straight. A bit of a moment around the chicane. Lost about 3 positions because of it.
So let's have a look at this fight in the midfield. Wookie taking a lot of curb there. It's a dangerous game. Taking that much curb, it can send you into oversteer pretty easily. As Nuts goes through on the outside, and I'm not sure what happened there. Wookie goes through as well, but Winky is on the inside.
Staying on the inside, he's not moving.
So which of the W's is going to take the W? It's Wookie.
Yeah.
So he manages to stay behind Nuts. I don't think... Oh, he's looking pretty close. He might try and go for a move at the end of the straight. No, it doesn't look like he's closing in quick enough, so he's just sitting back for the moment. And for the time being, we've got Quimo going through again. So Scottish Ninja's decided to pick the right... I'm surprised. I'm surprised by that, because what was the point of staying out then? If it was to... I think he should have carried on. Of course, with less grip, you've got more of a chance to spin out and everything, but crucially, he's down into P14 right now, and he's got a 10-second penalty for crossing the line. Everybody crossing the line, it's a rule in Formula 1. I've been seeing this penalty quite a bit more recently, so I don't know if the recent update has meant that penalties are actually being applied for it, and people got used to not being penalised for it, but it is a penalty, so be careful on your entries and exits. Yeah, Quimo's going nicely there. Yeah. Even the mighty saviour is getting penalties, so don't be ashamed, everybody, if you get time penalties.
At the moment, we only got about a quarter of the field that's not actually on penalties.
Yeah, yeah. If that.
Fantastic circuit.
I really like it. I really like it. I don't know if it's that Hamilton fan bias. Whoa, no. Okay, so Avinash's bet of staying out on worn hards has paid dividends. He will be pitting for fresh mediums, I suppose. It will go for 13 laps, with probably 2 of them being on under safety car conditions, with Anton getting a 10-second penalty for contact with a Winky.
I saw that. Sorry, I was on board with him when that happened, and I'm not sure if the safety car had only just flashed on the screen. I'm not sure if the car ahead sort of slowed for the delta, and maybe it hadn't flashed up just yet. But yeah, that's an unfortunate 10 seconds there. It looked, obviously you'd have to see on board, but looked like a gamey glitch kind of situation.
Yeah. I mean, I'll put it this way: I wouldn't be surprised.
No. Well, I don't know which race it was. I wasn't too fussed because I know the game's glitchy, and I'm not. It must have been X because I'm not in the championship for it or anything. But I think I came out of the pits as the safety car was finishing, and as I got onto the end of what would be coming onto turn 2, right at the exit of the pits, the delta flashed up for a brief second red, and then I got a 10-second drive-through penalty for under the safety car. I was like, oh, come on.
Yeah, it's ridiculous sometimes.
It's coming straight in now to serve. Oh, hold on. Can you serve it? You can't serve it under safety car, can you?
Sorry?
You can't serve the 10-second penalty under a safety car, can you? The game doesn't let you.
No. Who has? Was it Anton?
I think Anton's just gone in to pit. Obviously, then stuff changed in the wing.
Oh yes, you can. Sorry, you can. It's a drive-through. You can't. Yeah, of course you can. Right. Yeah, sorry. Yeah. You can. It's drive-throughs you can't serve. So he wiped that penalty away, but it must have still cost him a few positions. Anton choosing to go with a set of worn hard tyres. Okay. At the front, though, we've got Wookie up in the top 3, and we're going to be showing. Mats has got a time penalty. It's a horrible thing to get time penalties during safety cars.
Yeah,
it shouldn't be a thing. Penalties then. So Quimo is on 6 seconds. So even though he's in the lead, effectively he's not in the lead. We've got Dan behind, keeping it clean. I think he's on 11 lap old hard 17. Okay, yeah. So I don't think he's going to be in contention here.
Sure.
Sorry?
You would have thought he'd have jumped in the pits under this safety car with 17 lap old hards.
I definitely would have,
Yeah, because trying to push to the end, but that's
the difference in grip he'll be having with the guys around him will be ridiculous.
Yeah.
So, yeah. And because of the difference in grip, he's going to be trying to compensate and push harder. And one thing you don't want to do with a cold set of worn hard tyres is to push. No. So he'll be under a lot of pressure at the restart. But Avinash, still no penalties. Fresh tyres. So he's looking good. Winky's in between Hive and Avinash, so kind of protecting Avinash on the restart for the time being. And then plenty of reserves, and Scottish Ninja. Scottish Ninja with a 13-second penalty. So I missed the 10 seconds he got. Must have been coming into the pits. We'll soon find out. Quite a few drivers on 9 seconds as well. We've got Sabi, we've got Antoine and Mika. Quite a few on 6 seconds. Quimo and Airways, it doesn't really matter. He's a harder driver. Smith is on 6 seconds as well. Mats with one of those penalties coming under safety car conditions, so really unfortunate. Mika is too far away as it stands for the safety car to come back in, so we'll be going around for another lap. It's our 4th safety car, right? It's not the 5th.
I think it is number 4, I think it's 4. So there is the potential there, but we won't cross that bridge.
There's still potential for this race to finish tomorrow. It's always a very long one when safety cars are multiplying themselves. And the issue with them is that often the safety car generates another safety car, so you're never completely safe from having another safety car when it ends.
And it's a difficult choice as well, because it's like at the start of a race, you know you don't have to win it off the start line. You've got a long race ahead of you. But when you're under safety car, the restarts, you're all bunched up. Like you say, sometimes you're on different strategies. You've got opportunities. You can't sit there and not take them, can you? But like you say, sometimes with the cold tyres, different strategies, people do maybe over expect what their car can do at that stage, and then we're back looking at this yellow flag situation and the wonderful green car on the track.
Yeah, exactly. And you're driving a green car this season, are you not?
I am indeed.
Yeah.
Been a while since I've been in one, so I thought, we'll go for it.
Yeah, it's a nice car. It's a nice car. I enjoy it. So, as we were saying last time round, we are going to be racing after this lap. The green car will be coming in for green flag conditions, and the restart will be made by another green car, just not the same brand. He's got good life still in his tyres. No, that's not what I want. Interval, and tyres. So 9 lap on mediums, he still should be able to pull away from Dan at the restart, but he will need to pull away as quickly as possible because Wookie will be coming. Yeah, he'll be coming for him at just after overtaking Dan. So he's going to have to be very careful with his restart.
Very, very close here.
Yeah. Whoa. He's following him nicely there, and he's gone. So it looks like he's surprised Dan.
Well. Yeah, he
the
did
gap
well
is extending. And Wookie's going for the inside here. He doesn't really go for it. Pretty wise from him. But then the question is, how quickly can he overtake Dan? Winky with a time penalty. Probably for the first corner. What happened at the back?
Right, but anyways, had a bit of a wobble. I think Ninja's just had a moment and hit the wall. He's just dropped down to right near the back. Somebody else over the grass. Who's the house?
Quimo's extended his lead to over a second to Dan. Dan had a bit of a moment there at the end of the second sector. So an opportunity will arise here for Wookie to take the lead, probably on the back straight here. So a much better line than Dan, and this should be a slam dunk overtake. Whoa, a bit of contact there. No worries, but Avinash is coming through as well, so we're already getting a fight between Wookie and Avinash in the final stint. Wookie's managed to keep Avinash behind, but crucially there's fighting going on, and whoa, Avinash is going for the inside line, and he is clear already, so he's only got to close the gap to Quimo, and it's going really well right now for Avinash. Second week in a row, he's found himself in a really good position at the end of the race, chasing the leader with a time penalty and with pressure tyres. So Dan has got a 3-second time penalty as well, meaning that we've got 2 more drivers who don't have a penalty, Avinash and Stoke. You've survived 27 laps without a penalty. Well done, everybody. English isn't working for me today. Right, that gap is already closing down between Quimo and Avinash, and it looked like Avinash really took as much as he could out of that corner, really on the limit of the track. And he's already extended by 2 seconds to Hive. Hive, who's made a few positions as well from the restart. Wookie will not be wanting to stay behind him. I think Hive is on 6 seconds. I could be wrong. No, he's on 10. He's on 10 seconds. So, Wookie will not be wanting to stay behind, to end up behind him. That gap has closed down by another half a second in half a lap. So Avinash is absolutely flying, and he doesn't have any pressure here. He's not thinking, I need to pull away from Wookie. I need to be ahead of Quimo. No, he just needs to be within touching distance of Quimo. He's got a gap to Wookie, a healthy gap. So he can just lay back here and pick his moment to make the overtake without pressure. He's got 7 laps, fresher tyres. It's all looking good for him.
Yeah, very comfortable at the moment. That's a nice position to be in when you get to this stage in the race and you look at the odds.
That's definitely a confidence booster.
Yeah, absolutely.
Mudsnut's making himself look very aggressive behind Ant Stoke, trying to show that he can go for different lines between the corners. And yeah, Ant Stoke trying to go to the inside of Winky, excuse me. Doesn't help having Winky, Wookie both in blue cars. It's doesn't work for me. What is happening up front? Avinash must have had a bit of a moment there because he lost a bit of time to Quimo, or he's just laying back and making sure he goes to the end with these tyres. He's actually on non-ERS, I think, so he's not pushing at all. Oh, my red saviour. So what's happened? We've got Wookie, who dropped a few positions. He's got... Oh no, he doesn't have the front wing. And he's got a corner. Oh, I don't know what happened, but he doesn't have a front wing. Ah, such a shame. You were talking about it earlier on. He needs to have a clean lap, and unfortunately for him, there was... Yeah, it was kind of a snowball effect. Got a bit of damage at the start, I think, so had to go for a pit stop. And Hyperclips has retired. I don't know where it was. It must have been... Oh, Hyperclips has... Okay, yeah, he hit the wall coming up to the hairpin, so a bit before the Kubica accident from 2007. So yeah,
the one where his feet were left hanging out of the car at the end, at the front.
Maybe, I can't remember what happened to his feet, but it was the big crash
Yeah.
where it was snowing debris. A very impressive crash. I can't remember how long it was a red flag. Yeah, of course it was a red flag.
Yeah.
And Wookie's retired. Oh, that's a shame. Come on, mate. So we've got what is it? 4 retirements from this session, and plenty of penalties being applied. Avinash still looking for the best time to overtake, and I wouldn't be surprised if it were at the end of this next straight, which is a DRS straight, the long one, just after the hairpin, so plenty of time to get slipstream, energy, passion.
He can drive away from him now, can't he? But
yeah,
I don't know if I'd maybe sit behind him for another couple of laps.
Well, I think
might be too painful for him. Maybe he's that much quicker in the corner.
Exactly,
it's possibly killing him to sit there.
Whoa! Quimo's hit the wall there. I don't know if he's got damage. He does have damage. He's got half a wing missing. He's got as much damage as you can get on the front wing without actually losing it. Oh, it really does look like a massive hole.
Place to actually lose it as well. You've got to do a whole lap.
So he's got 3 laps to go with this damage. Whoa! Yeah. Keep your composure, mate. You're still in a good position for the points. You're about 10 seconds ahead of Smith, so you might have penalties, but you can still get a P2 out of this. So keep your head going. Who else do we have? We've got Antone, Wookie. Sorry?
And Stoke. Did we already lose him? Did I miss that? Because he's great.
Oh yeah, I missed that as well. I don't know what happened.
I didn't catch it on the screen.
So it must have been in the pits because he's between Scottish Ninja, who's coming up to the pit entry. So it must have been a pit retirement. I completely missed that. Antone with a 3-second penalty. I tell you what, we've got Mika in P9 right now, and if he manages to stay where he is, he's going to be ecstatic. He's catching up to Dan
as well. Just sitting there out front.
Yeah.
Gap nice and easy, nearly 2 seconds already. Plus, like I say, no concerns with the amount of penalties now sat behind him. He's just sailing to the end now. Yeah,
and he knows that no safety car will be happening now because we're on lap. Sorry. We're on lap 30. I thought there were 33 laps. Sorry. That's why I said 3 laps for Quimo earlier on instead of 5. So another 3 seconds for Quimo. You don't want any more of them. You're going to get closer to being overtaken by Smith. Smith looking really good. Sorry,
I was just Quimo's the penalties he's got now. He's going to be there in the top 10 by the time.
Oh yeah, it's 12 seconds. Oh, okay, yeah. So let's have a look at the intervals. 3 second time penalty from Mika. He has got a leader. Gap to the leader, 2 seconds and 12 seconds. So he's basically 10 seconds ahead of Smith, with 6 seconds being applied of penalties between them. He's still got 6 seconds over Smith, so he's got to maintain 6 seconds not to lose P2 as it stands. Mutsnuts is another 3 seconds back, so that's a 9-second gap to Mutsnuts. He's still looking good for a P2 as it stands. Let's have a look at what's happening behind. We've got a fight between Laupi and Dan. So Laupi going through, being the higher tier driver, having DRS, it's going to be an easy overtake for him. And we will soon be seeing the higher tier drivers go into the pits. One of their pit stops, well, any pit stop, they have to pit on the penultimate lap. So it will be next time round, I think. Is it next time round? No.
Yeah, I believe so.
No.
It should be.
Yeah.
They're going on to lap 34.
Yeah, it's just that. Yeah, okay, yeah. I didn't know if it was Avinash was on lap 33 or 34, but yeah. Anyway, they'll be pitting soon, so the tier drivers will be promoted into higher positions. Let's have another look at the tyres, because we've got Laupi. Yeah, of course, Laupi's making his way up. Smith, yeah, he's got 12 lap old mediums, so in comparison to the rest of the grid, it's still fresh, so you can still go pretty nicely. That gap is still maintained to 10 seconds to Quimo, so Quimo's doing enough right as it stands to maintain a P2. Mutsnuts and Winky, but it's Winky and Laupi fighting.
Yeah.
So Laupi's
going to have to make that fairly simple. The tyre usage on Winky, well, he's now with Dan. They're both on, I mean, it's commendable, 27 laps on those hards.
Yeah. It was the best strategy for him, going as long as possible, keeping position, but he does have front wing damage. How much will that hurt him going into the final 2 laps with such tyre wear on his tyres? Winky on 28 laps, and similarly has got a front end plate missing, or left end plate at the very least. Avinash, he's just not pushing right now. There's no way he's only pulled away by 4 seconds. There's no way. Quimo's got damage, Avinash is quick, he's got fresher tyres, so there's no way he's only pulled 4 seconds on him. But we will be seeing the higher tier drivers go into the pits as they do. But Quimo's got another 3-second time penalty, so now he needs, well, what is it? Yeah, he's only got 3 seconds of advantage over Smith, or over Mutsnuts now. Mutsnuts is just behind him, so we can go back to the intervals instead of gap to the leader. So actually no, Mutsnuts is sorry, it's intervals now, excuse me. So yeah, he's still got a few seconds to spare. He doesn't. He's up to 15 seconds, and Mutsnuts has got 6, so the 9-second gap is what we're going to be looking at. Mutsnuts, has he got any damage? I don't think he does. No, he doesn't. So on this final lap, he can still find another few tenths, but Quimo is slightly pulling away, and he could still get the position. We'll be cutting to Avinash, because, well, yeah, we said exactly what would happen during the break. He's a calm driver, he's quick, he knows when to push, he knows when to just sit back, and yeah, a really, really controlling win tonight. Quimo's crossed the line, but what is the gap going to be? It's 9.013 as it stands. It's going to be like 5 thousandths of a second. It's a 100th of a second gap. So Quimo losing his P2 to Mutsnuts, who qualified in P4, I think. P4, so yeah. A bit disappointing for Smith, but for Quimo, sorry. Smith loses out on P3 by 2.4 seconds. Winky goes through in P6, but with Saviour ahead, that's going to be P5.
Is that one of Smith's highest finishes so far?
Of the season, yeah.
I think so.
But he has already had podiums, I think, in Tier 3.
Is he? Oh, I've not really had that much involvement in Tier 3, so I'm not too sure, but that's not a bad result.
Yeah. Okay. A bit of a messy race. We're not going to hide away from that. Very, very hard to read with all these penalties, not being able to figure out who's actually ahead of everybody else, apart from Avinash. That was the only constant. Avinash not having penalties, Avinash being quick, Avinash being ahead. Really, really, really top race from him tonight. Really finding his rhythm. I don't think he got the fastest lap, but yeah, 2 wins out of 2. Even if you don't have fastest laps, you're still leading the championship by quite some way. Wookie was second last week, and he retired today, so he's what is it going to be? It's going to be a 30-point gap he's got over Wookie in 2 races. His main title rival is 30 points behind. So Wookie is going to have to get his act together next time around in Sao Paulo. So let's just go through the grid. We've got Avinash, Mutsnuts, Quimo on the podium, Smith, Saviour, Dan, Laupi, Winky on my red, Sabi, Mika in P11, Bobo, Antoine, Scottish Ninja P14, and our DNFs are Ant Stoke, Wookie, Hive Eclipse, Airways, Mr. Ginner, unfortunately, and Connor. Right. Oh, fastest lap for Bobo. But it will be applied elsewhere, I think. What is your take on driver of the day? And I think it's going to be an easy one, but I'll still let you
well,
talk
do you know
your
what?
mind.
I'm going to give mine to Smith today, to be honest.
Really? Okay.
I think he started, 12th on the grid altogether. I know Smith's not necessarily the fastest man on the field, and he's had a few incidents here and there, but consistent one tonight. I think got a few penalties, but still managed to make up a decent amount of positions.
I'm giving mine. I'm going to be splitting it. I can't see past Avinash, honestly. Exemplary racing tonight. Fighting as well. Like, he went wheel to wheel with Wookie, and I think it was Hive Eclipse as well. Showed that you could fight, but yeah, you don't always have to go for the gap when it's there. Just figure out when you have to fight, and he's done that to perfection, I think, tonight. He went for the right moves. He was waiting when he had to. Was always in and around the top 5, and that was only because of pit stops. No penalties. So many things going into his direction, so we'll be splitting it tonight between both South Africans who were teammates last year. Avinash and Smith, well done to you guys. That's going to be it. What time is it? It's 26 minutes past 8 in the UK. That was Tier 3 from Canada, from Montreal. We were with Steve tonight, so thanks for tuning in, Steve.
No, all good. Good race this evening. Good to be
here. And we will be having one final race around Canada this week, coming up in 20 minutes. The race might be delayed because of how late this one's finished, but one more to go. Xtreme, no assists, a bit of the mad race, let's say. So be sure to tune in 20 minutes and see you on track. Bye.
Have a good one.